Hello everyone, and welcome back to Wargame Red Dragon. We have the second ranked game between Wombat to Combat, also known as Quicksilver, and Marsupial Tail here. We had the first one, I think, as a short a couple days ago, and this was sort of the revenge match also in a ranked format. So we do have Quicksilver with us again. You want to say hello?
Hello?
And the focus... very, very brief. The focus will be mostly on initial deployment and then sort of thought process throughout. Because I think there's a lot of things that I know I can learn from here. So, you want to tell us a bit about the deployment?
I play very standardly all the time. I prefer to react to what the enemy is doing rather than react to what they force me to do. So, very standard. I've got AGGM and Recon heading into the town on Gulf.
Okay, so that's this group here.
Yep, that group down the bottom down to the left.
Gotcha.
Yep. I forget what was in the Saxon. I think it's command. No, Gurkha's 90. Yep. So they're going to go up to the left-hand corner and flank around.
Gotcha. Like through here. All right.
Yeah.
All right. And then on this side.
Yep, I got some Vicar Mark 11, some Stormers, and some Commando 90s going to fight into the forest between Gulf and Foxshot.
So this is your Commonwealth motorized then, right?
Yeah, Commonwealth motorized. Been having a lot of fun with this deck. You've seen firsthand how brutal it can be.
Yeah, you crushed me.
Unfortunately, though, this is not the best map for it. Going up against a USSR unspec from memory.
Yeah, but I mean that's a good thing too, right? Because ranked, you don't always you don't pick the map, so whatever you bring in, you sort of have to adapt, right?
Exactly. Over on the right-hand side, just some recon, some AA, and some infantry going into Bravo. ATGM infantry, that is. And just for the highway, I've got Aslav and a couple of Rover Wombats. Just patch down any transports off guard with the Rover Wombats, and obviously spot with the recon. If I see a big column in that, I can divert my forces to go deal with that. Luckily, that
I was just about to ask, by the way, because I mean things like 60 to 80 point tanks. I see those come down here all the time, and they would eat these Rover Wombats for breakfast.
You would think so, but like 3 Rover Wombats can do quite a significant damage to the tanks, especially if they.
And what about one?
Yeah, with one not so much, but
gotcha.
When you got 3 of them in a forest and a T-72A by itself, I would put my money on 3 Wombats.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Alright, so the Vickers get kind of smacked here. Jalos versus Vickers.
Wombats versus Yalos, you know?
Yeah. Fair enough. Well, I mean, at least one of them.
Some do. At least one of them.
I mean, also, you can trade 2 for 1, though, and that's worthwhile.
Yeah, I mean, I could trade 3 for 1, and it would still equal out. So I got Canadian Rifles and Commando 90s. The Canadian Rifles is to soak up the damage, the Commando 90s is to deal the damage.
So that's the punch,
going up
but
against
these
a
guys
BDV, BTR-T coming in.
Oh, okay. I was about to say that's a tough fight, but that bomber is there to fix it.
Yep.
Brutal.
F111C, brutal playing.
Yeah.
Kind of build my deck around it. So I've got for my air tab, I've got a cheap bomber, a seed, and an air superiority fighter plus the F111C. I try and screen out with the cheap bomber and the seed once they start buying heavy AA.
I'm surprised this guy's still here. Was that just sort of stuff started happening over on the left?
Yeah, it's just one of those miss micro moments. Like I forget to shift Q the unload, but he gets there eventually. Not many people really do a heavy push. Like if they're pushing heavy Golf, you really don't have to worry about them heavy pushing Bravo at the same time.
So if you go up here and you see nothing, then maybe consider looking Bravo.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Why
BMPT?
Recon is.
Oof.
BMPT versus Aslav. Aslav will manage to hide for a minute, but yeah. At this point, I'm like, okay, a lot of my recon stat in mid. Got to get something for those forests.
Right.
Vickers versus T-72A coming in.
Yeah. So I mean, the T-72A, that's what 50%, 14 AP. So Vickers is better AP, but the armor difference is huge.
Yeah, but I think the accuracy on the Vickers is a lot better as well.
It is 60%, and then it looks like this guy, he missed a couple of shots. Missed the first one in there, and I mean, once he's shaken, I guess that's all you need. So nice kill on the Vickers.
Exactly.
It's a shame the ATGM in this town died that early.
Where that Stormer is a great spot for AA.
Yeah.
But the only thing you gotta be careful of is you can't shoot past that hill. So if they consider helicopter on Foxtrot, you won't be able to hit it.
Right, right. And then I tend to put stuff here as well, and then as soon as it fires, I move it back sort of along this way, and I just like pop back and forth on the other side of the hill. And that tends to work out decently well.
So currently I'm just trying to rebuild my front lines here. We've traded relatively evenly, which is great, because if you notice, you just want to pause it right now, I am currently ticking +2 on him, and I have been since the game started. So I started with 100 less points to get that CV in there. I normally, if you have a mech deck, you should always start with a second CV. I will start with a second CV with Moto if it's got a 2-pointer. That early tick lead can be brutal, and it ultimately, I think, ends up saving this game for me, because it was a very close match.
Gotcha. Well, you'll have to explain that to me a little bit then, because I would have thought with mechanized, if you're slower, you might need more force at the opener to make up for the positioning disadvantage.
That is a way to think of it, but like the way I play mech and the way most people play mech is you play defensively and build up a force to push. So if you have that early tick off at the start, gives you more time to do that.
Gotcha, because then your opponent with that favorable position can't just sit there and tick up against nothing.
Yeah.
That's a good perspective.
The Moto, the way I've had it explained to me is you get that early position and you defend it, because you get there first.
Yeah.
I didn't really get to do that because I was going against an unspec deck, and they also had motorized units.
What was this?
That was BRDM3. This is why you put base defense, people.
Yeah, I mean,
even
that's
if
not
it's
much,
just something
but...
simple.
Yeah.
You know, if it wasn't there, it could have done a lot of damage, as you'll see
that's
later.
Fair. Oh no, precursor did lots and lots of pain. I really like the Gurkhas around the side, by the way. I mean, I do this, and it usually ends up really well if you just like go right into these woods. Is that what you're intending for that, or is that not so much?
That was my intention for it. Another really great unit to put around there is SAS, because you can put them right by the river and catch planes coming off guard. You can catch helicopters coming off guard, and they got the AT and they can hit transports and stuff.
Okay, so split is
Yeah, I split them up so I can put them over two different things. I don't like stacking my infantry up because one bomber can take them both out. If you split them up, it takes 2 passes.
Right, and these guys are really good, but they're also, I mean, 30 points is not throwaway type units. So
no,
yeah,
but
I mean, 15
they're
strength.
in the back lines. They're ultimately going for AA and CVs at this point.
Right, I never realized how good the Law 80 is. Holy cow.
Yeah, 22 AP, 20 rounds per minute. Absolutely brutal. Same thing that's on the Fusilier
Apolos is what, 23? But that's pretty close.
Yeah, 23. Yeah.
So this is an issue, potentially.
Yeah, so losing this forest was not ideal. I should have probably invested a bit more in there at the initial start, but at the same time, as long as I got that town and got the forest up the top plateau of Foxtrot, I can kind of more or less just ignore it. I've got the SBS and the military and Bravo. They're going to stop anything coming down that road.
Ooh, not great. Not great at all.
Not the greatest, no. I got a K-52 and an Mi-24 BP. I'm both super high health helicopters, so my Gurkha's machine guns aren't able to, blitz it. This is another reason why I split it up. If I had both of them there, they both probably would have got killed.
And that's probably why you said SAS as well.
Yeah.
I've really been enjoying South Africa motorized these days because just regular SASF are reasonably cheap and they handle that sort of problem pretty well. But that's a nice ambush. Sapri.
So I just killed a BTRT, the grenade
25 pointer, yeah. And then if you can get the K-52 because he's getting a little over curious, I mean, that close. Oh, I wish the Gurkhas were headed the other way. Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's rough. That's rough. Okay. So if you take a look back now, Bravo is at least reasonably secured. This side of Gulf, I thought off the beginning, once you got that bombing run, that you'd be a bit more forward, but that's been a tough fight. And then Foxtrot.
As much as that bombing run and my initial push got, I also lost quite a bit. So I was trying to rearm my commandos, try and keep my infantry alive. I'm bringing up some, it's either SAS or SBS in the Lynx AH7.
Gotcha.
Both the Lynx AH7 has fire support and I think AA, so I think it will be SAS.
And then I also wanted to comment earlier, we kind of missed it, but I liked the response here. It was like very calm, collected. You got your recon, you got some infantry, you got the Vickers, everything you need to handle anything coming out of these woods. So
yeah,
I don't always respond that calmly.
Yeah. Like, one of the biggest issues I see newer players having in this game is when they see something coming, their first initial thought is, what can I get there the fastest? And the answer is usually always helicopters and planes. But panic buying helicopters and planes will leave you in a point deficit if they don't make their money back.
Gotcha. Nice catch on the Stormer, by the way. I tend to turn off the secondary weapon on those guys. But,
yeah,
like that could have been really scary if cheap Motostrelki had gotten the Stormer and gotten the breakthrough on this side of Fox.
I just want to point out those Wombats, I'm pretty sure just made their money back killing those Motostrelki as well.
Not quite.
Oh, not quite, but like, pretty much nearly.
Yeah,
and
that's
they still got plenty of ammo.
The 1925 meter range on these guys is so absurd. I mean, other nations play another 5 points for things like that.
Yeah, and these have 3 HE as well. That's another thing people don't realize.
Gracious. British hacks, man. Hacks. Straight hacks. Okay, so now you've got SAS over here. He's looking for some revenge for those helicopters from earlier then, I'm guessing.
Yes, I don't know how well that works out. I can't really remember. This was a very long game. If we go down to Echo now, this BRDM3 in Echo was an absolute sham.
Geez.
We just missed it there, but he killed 2 Lavs, an AH7, and back to panicking about planes and helicopters.
Oh, hey, what can you get there fastest?
What can I get there fastest?
Yeah, Lynx AH7. I mean, but if these guys... Hold on, he's injured. Something shot at him already.
That was the one that I moved over from.
Oh, okay, so he's the guy who fought the other guy. Alright, ammo box hit right away. You're kidding me. Does he get through? Both of these as well. Oh, goodness gracious, that's such a valuable BRDM3.
Yeah, this was a bit of a panic situation of mine. What I should have done is just moved that Lynx to the edge of the forest towards Echo. And I would have spotted him before he spotted my CB.
And then if your bomber was still in reserve, if your Lynx starts to struggle, you know where he is. He's stationary shooting, and then the bomber can take him out.
This is a great example of why you should just keep calm.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, he spotted... Oh, jeez.
Yep, he spotted it, but...
Goodness gracious.
Luckily, I did end up moving my Vickers there, and the Chad is dead.
Yeah, fair enough, but at what cost? I mean, that's 100 points, the Ocelots are 25 apiece, that's 150, plus the Lynxes. Nearly 200?
Like nearly 200 points to a single BRDM3.
Jeez.
But
SAS, BTRT up here. It's a good kill.
SAS are gonna...
Can they get it? Ooh, no. You know, I tell you though, I was going against some BTRTs the other day, and I was South Africa Moto, so I had some SASF, I think, just standard ones. And what I did was I kept going in and then out, and then in and then out. Yeah. And every time, rotating just a little bit.
The SAS bit off a bit more than they could chew there.
Yeah, jeez. And in my 24 VP, at least that's not a cheap answer, right? Like, that's a significant investment. This is potentially pretty scary, though. It's VDV-90 headed up, Commandos down to 5 strength. So the man caught 1 at the end of the woods. You're not worried about that getting artillery or something? Because this is such a...
It, so...
Yeah, oh, yeah. Okay, so you're moving...
I kind of snuck it in. He's more focused on things. So he's been really pounding me on golf. Golf is very much a mech side of the map. F111C coming in.
VDV-90... Unfortunate position for them right there. Good kill too. That's what, KA-52? By the look of it?
Yep, KA-52. Stormer is a nice death spiral. Piece.
Yeah. I have trouble when I play that coalition though, just because, I mean, yeah, it's amazing, but it's also 75 points. The availability isn't that high. And it's so tempting to use them as direct fire.
Yeah. I never use them as direct fire. If they direct fire, then that's good for them. But they got
Incidental.
extremely fast missiles. Like their missiles are insanely fast, and they got a pretty high fire rate. So even though they got short range against planes, they're still quite useful against them. I kind of use them in a. The direct fire mode should be used as like a last resort thing. Not. You shouldn't. It can direct fire. Doesn't mean you should direct fire. If you get what I'm saying.
That's fair. So, just a little bit of an observation here. If we look out, Bravo's capped, Foxtrot's capped by the red 4 player, Golf's capped by the red 4 player. Did you get the feeling at the time that he was trying to like force you to play over Golf? Because that's what it seems like, just like from looking at it right now, you know.
And yeah, so I feel like he was trying to really condense me down into Golf. Like, and that's a smart move on him. If he knows I'm playing Moto. He's probably thinking, you know, I have to bring in infantry and all my transports cost 10 points and they're not like good transports. Like you think of what you can get for 10, 15 points as mechanized or unspec.
Right, and these guys aren't that cheap, and you just lost 2 of them to a single ATGM, which like that's a tax, and that tax is not small.
No,
and he can just sit back right here, and it's such a brutal firing concave to escape. I mean. Osa's there, ATGM team, and then infantry down here just make it really, really rough. So what's the answer to that when you're being forced to play in the worst position on the map for you to play in? How do you get out of that sort of situation?
So if you have a look over to the right now,
yeah.
So you missed it earlier, but I put some Canadian airborne. I start pushing him in a opposite direction or setting up ambush positions in other spots. So if he's forcing me to attack somewhere, I want to make him change his concentration to a different area, an area where I have the advantage. And then
so like the woods here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Also, F111C helps a lot as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, as long as you can keep it alive, which so far you have. I've been kind of surprised that I haven't seen ASF response. Because I mean. I've been on the receiving end of that sort of bomber before, and sometimes if they're that repeatable and that much of an impact, you kind of accept, okay, I'm going to send an ASF deeper than you should go, but you look for the kill. And that is what? That's Wotagon? Probably?
Wotagon, yeah.
Yeah. Surprised that the HQ section's fine.
I'm surprised as well, but, yeah.
That was a direct hit.
That was a direct hit. There's multiple direct hits, so they're lucky to be alive. So what I'm doing right now is just getting some infantry for the left and right side of it. I want to start focusing elsewhere. I'm playing
then
on
as soon as he pushes up here, it looks like you're trying to get recon forward, Highlanders resecuring this part of the woods. That's a nice launching pad too.
Yeah, previously I saw what he had in that forest, and it looked to me that he pushed it out the side and up towards Foxtrot, so I'm like, that forest is now clear for me to push up with Highlanders and Green Jacket. Gotcha. And that way I can capture, kill anything that he retreats down on the plateau. Gotcha,
so that's what they're there for, is like, partial failed push, there's gonna be some sort of retreat, and that's what these guys are there to catch. It's clever. It's nice.
Unfortunately, he's setting up VDV, which I don't have a response for because my Wombat was out of ammo.
Oh, please tell me no. Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so upsetting. And then, was that from the VP with that Coke on M just taken out?
Yeah.
Jeez. That's such an I feel like you've had some really good sustained combat, and then he'll just come back with that 1 or 2 brutal breakthrough kills, like the combat in Echo, and then that right there in Fox.
The one thing he has to his advantage is he's got the full range of artillery in his deck. I've only got really mortars. And you can see that he's hammering me. The Oregon, I think he had the 140.1 was the...
Oh, the Mista?
Yeah, I think he had a Mister or at least the some big arty piece.
That's a mistake, honestly. Look at this. That's quite a mistake.
Mistakes on both sides is still relatively low level gameplay at the end of the day. SBS and Highlanders and another Stormer being called in to reinforce Foxtrot, and then I will eventually re-CV it again. Now that I've got that forest back with Green Boys and Highlanders 90s, Foxtrot is as good as neutralized. I have now noticed that he's neutralized Bravo as well, so once again on the back foot here for a bit, but
In 208 points to 140, though, that really could be a lot worse. There's still half the game left to play, and I don't know. I mean, I feel like pushing Bravo from this side is way, way, way easier than it should be sometimes. Like, I had a recent game against Crippling Depression where he had secured this town and pushed up into this town, and our decks were relatively even in terms of ability for that. They're both general decks, and the push out of Bravo from this side was really, really cost effective. But that's another CV kill, so that's going to be the HQ section here gone, just Oregon times 2, I suppose, does get it done. And that's going to be a +2, so that's a little worrisome.
It's a little worrisome, but that's a lot of investment into artillery. He has killed quite a few CVs with it, admittedly, but that's just another con of playing Moto decks is you don't get any armored CVs outside of the occasional armored transport.
Yeah. So I don't know. The book M1 kill here. I'm hoping you get this. Oh geez, let's see. M2 Brownings, panic stunt. Oh no! Oh no! 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 Oh man, if I can just imagine being the Red 4 player and just sitting there going, "Oh please, come on, really?"
My goal was to hopefully neutralize Golf, but really I want to chisel away at his AA air defense network so I can bring in more F111 series, because I don't think I lost one this game.
Really? Huh. I mean, this is good too. So what? Link's H-TOE2, and this is something that's different. So his Mi-24 VPs have been really far forward compared to his stuff on the ground. But I mean, you lost that toe, and he was sitting far back here for a while, so it's much safer play, but it ended up sort of the same sort of thing, and that's, I don't know, that's kind of upsetting, honestly. You'd think there should be an easier reward for that more cautious play than it looked like there was.
Yeah, the toe pushing up was more of a reaction than an action. I saw something there I thought I could kill if I didn't screen properly enough for AA. Gotcha. So similar to how he was playing it, he just had better luck because he managed to keep killing my Stormers. F111C coming in once again.
Yeah,
always
beautiful timing.
To see.
And save the Stormer too. I think something. Don't direct fire with these guys. I mean,
I said just because they can doesn't mean they should, but you know, it does help that they can. VP versus SBS. I think the SBS win.
Well, CB and the true tragedy there, honestly, is the Stormer dying, because if he had more health, if he hadn't taken that shot from the tank on that side, that was just an auto cannon shot that killed him.
Wargame give it, Wargame take it away.
So, okay, Sapery in these woods, I really don't like Sapery at all, and I know I see so many people use them, but I mean, this
most
just
people
happens.
just use them to bring them in the transport for ultimate infantry shredding. They really need to be supported with VDV 90 or something of the likes. Motor Struggle even, something to kill transports with.
But why wouldn't you take the Sapery 85? Is it the 10 strength versus 5, or what? Because the launchers are so much more effective, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a strength thing. It was also a price thing, because I'm pretty sure the 85 are 20 points.
Oh, I thought they were 15, but it's been a while since I've successfully played.
I don't play USSR, so I can't actually tell you. I'm just trying to remember it off the top of my head.
Dead BTRT, what are these?
They're the Scratchets. Absolutely melting my commandos, but my Gurkhas are melting his VDV with the help of the mortars. Yeah, nice. I am trying to push them. I just need to get line of sight or know where the whatchamacallit is. CB.
Command vehicle. This is a good reaction too. So you saw them coming up again. We have the recent memory of this guy sort of taking some fire, so pulling that CV back just a little bit, and then pushing him back up. I mean, the only thing you risk there is sort of saying that, okay, well, they're somewhat close by, because if they weren't close by, you wouldn't move it. But, I mean...
In saying that, it could be over in the forest as well.
That's true, it's an easy line of sight. That's just a bad combination.
That BP, I think, is still the same one from before, and at this point it's starting to get on my nerves, so I'm going to use Britain to its advantage. Now, over on the left here, I don't know if we'll get to capture on camera here, but I've decided to put my CB over the far left here. This is a risky play, because if he had recon that forest, he could have seen it, but
around this side, you mean?
Yeah. Seeing as my Aslav wasn't spotted, I felt it was fairly safe.
Right.
So he's probably thinking I put it over in the town again. I think he does fire some arty there eventually.
Right now, the
hoping to catch
arty.
him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on there.
I mean, it's a common spot to have it, and there's another Jeep gone. Oof.
Another Jeep gone. A lot of losses in CVs.
On both sides, by the look of it. I mean, you cleared this side out completely, and that's another 90-point helicopter down as well from the Kirkas. Whoa. They just got hurt by that explosion, didn't they?
Yeah. Yep, they did. They just lost 4 men because of that.
That's called can't win for losing.
Yeah. So I'm putting them back to the town. I got a resupply coming for them. It is.
Yeah, I see.
Like if you just if you resupply your hurt infantry, and don't lose them or just rush them ahead because they got low things, you'll be surprised at how much they can turn the tide of a battle.
Yeah, it's so hard to keep a steady hand to do that, though. I mean, if you have 5 left, if he starts pushing, oh jeez. When I lose most of my injured infantry is when I do something like this, and then I pull back, but I pull back a little bit too late, and my opponent's already pushing forward again, because then they can't escape in time. Right, so it's like it's a timing thing that seems to take some practice. So, all right, Green Jackets. Ooh, did he countercap again?
Yeah, so he had put another CV. I think it was a Helo CV this time. I can't remember from the game. Another VP coming in, but it's alright because I got SAS coming in.
Yeah. That's in the
eventually when I remember to move him. Yeah.
Oh jeez. They're just chilling, being the best 30-point stinger team that they can.
As these games go on and on, and they get closer and closer, the panic starts to set in.
Yeah, I imagine. Another cheap CV. Is that all this deck has for CVs? That in the HQ section?
2 infantry CVs and one card of cheap CVs.
Beautiful bombing run. That looks like a CV kill to me.
Yep, that's the same one. Yeah.
Not enough top
F111 Siege really carried this game.
I mean, I don't know about that. I think that's underselling the good infantry screening work you've been doing too. I mean, there's been constant nuisances up in Gulf with commandos, with SAS, and I mean, it hasn't worked out all the time just because of the blatant, huge amount of helicopter use, but I think that's such an important component to pull his attention away as well. Just I know you're the expert, I'm just the observer, but that's what it seems like to me.
Those helicopters were annoying, and constantly screening on either side kind of meant that he had to kind of fly it between Fort Bravo and Gulf. So
yeah, I mean this guy was just over here.
Kept him on his toes. So
that's gonna hurt. That's
okay,
gonna hurt.
So he's just. The reason I'm moving my CV here, right, is he's artillerying the town, right? I moved it. This is mind games. I moved my CV to make him think it was in the town, and now he's
that's tricky.
Yeah,
That's so
and
tricky.
now you can watch in the rest of the game. He's gonna keep firing on that town, thinking the CV's in there.
Yeah. I mean, I've been in that position before, and you think, oh, well, this is probably one of those where it has like 2 or 3 health left, and then he's healing it up between if I just get that lucky volley, right?
Yeah.
And you keep hunting for that lucky volley. This is... oh, that sucks. BMPT... okay, can the Vickers take him? Ooh, jeez. That Lynx AH7 just kill... oh, Jesus. You don't see that every day.
Killing the VP to save my commandos.
There's a surprising amount of long-range punch. Ooh, nice. Nice. Very nice.
Okay, I turned the machine gun off in case I ran into infantry down that forest. I wanted to only attack the vehicle. So for those of you who don't know, that if you have the machine gun firing, you can't fire your launcher.
Yeah, and that's not to say that you can't use one or the other as appropriate. It's just if the enemy starts firing first, right? So if you were to encounter infantry first, they'd start shooting with that. And then even if there's a vehicle, they won't shoot the Erics. Which, ooh, what do we have here? That's Command Neue Altmittellinie, Soviet Command Infantry. So that's the response from the Lynx H7. Skrezhets. Did he send a Yak 141 after that helicopter?
He did. He did.
That seems like a desperation play to me.
So, and no more air superiority fighter. Look what I can bring in.
Never waste your ASF, guys. Never ever do it.
I was just kind of guessing where his CV would be going.
Let's see how good you were. Let's see.
I wasn't that good.
Okay.
He went the other direction.
Yeah, but I mean, you crunched a couple things in there for sure. We saw the damage indicator, the little mini explosions. I think it's kind of funny how like infantry. If you don't know it's infantry, you just see the little mini explosions. It's like they're armored or some shit.
Speaking of that CV mind games, I did the same thing on Foxtrot, which is why he's aiming for that little.
Yeah, so you moved
it slightly to make him think it was in there when it was taking arty fire.
Gotcha. Highlanders 90 around the side. Are you CV hunting with this, or is this sort of
I am, yeah, CV hunting. So I'm trying to get +1 tick just to kind of expand the gap as much as I can.
Yeah,
I'm always poking. One thing you'll always see me and especially higher level players, Blitz was amazing for it, is poking and prodding to find the holes in the enemy defenses.
And there didn't happen to be one here. I mean, that Scredget sort of got the stun lock there on the Highlanders 90, but if he'd gotten through, the reward on that would have been pretty huge.
It would have been, but it gave me enough information because I knew he had nothing on the left side of that road on Foxtrot, so it means his CV can only be really in that forest top of Foxtrot because I've got recon on the other side. So I basically pinned down exactly where his CV
yeah, because they got all the way through to here, so you would have seen it if it was on this side. You would have seen it if it was in these woods. You would have spotted it if it was here, so process of elimination. Does that make it the next F-111C target type deal?
I think it's one of my last ones, because I think the next one is the CV on Bravo.
I really think throwing away the Yak 141 after Lynxes is just a bad idea. I mean, they're not even designed for it.
I bring the tracked Rapier FSA over.
Yeah. No dice on that one.
Against it. No dice on that one. It's also one of my last AA pieces, because he killed most of my Stormers.
Yeah, so. Yeah. It's been pretty atrocious this game. I mean, some games seem like absolute meat grinders, and other ones seem relatively civil by comparison. It always is kind of funny to watch. Spetsnaz Gru should lose against Gurkhas close up, I would imagine. And there they are. There's the Command Noah, SBS. Yeah, they're not going to be able to get out in time, I would imagine. SPS should be quicker, right?
I think I'm moving my Lynx to try and kill it. MIA is probably going to kill the Lynx before I get to it, though.
Yeah, I thought you got it with the SBS, but maybe more support there as well. Will be our DM3. What was this Hornet going after?
We missed it, yeah, so I did... so Foxtrot CV was my next F-111C target.
Gotcha, yep. Those are some craters. Yep. That's some nice looking craters.
And
he's trying to retaliate, right? So that's the order down right into that section of the woods.
Yeah, he's still trying to go for the CV there. That's not there. So it's little things like that that you can really throw your players off. And I've been caught by it a few times as well.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal. Honestly, like, that's why I was asking about the Jeep CVs here earlier, just because infantry CVs with their guns off wouldn't have been quite spotted as easily there. So I was kind of surprised you didn't go for him.
Yeah, a bit of a misclick on my F-111C that ended up killing my SAS and one of his Yalos, but
but the other one was still alive.
This game has got 6 minutes left, so Rover Wombats and Canadian Rifles pushing up. I accidentally pushed the bell up. I did not mean to do that.
Well, and this has to be sort of demoralizing for the other guy now, because, I mean, 5 minutes left, you're back at a +1, what's that, 70 or so points ahead? Yeah. And that's sort of, I mean, I've been in long games like that before as well, and it's always sort of soul crushing, because you go, okay, I either need that one big piece of luck, or this is just over. And it looks like that's not going to happen. So, Eltis CP coming back out, Motostrelki. Yeah, I don't know, this is certainly interesting, and may I just say for a minute, this is part of why I love doing community casts, and it's also why I mentioned earlier that I sort of want to change the format to have people on, because, you know, if you guys send me some stuff, I love covering it. It's a lot of fun. I get to see strategies I don't always do myself, and I've learned from that. But not being able to know the thought process behind it leaves so much behind, so being able to hear the reasons for that has been really pretty great. Ooh. Sucks you lost the Hornet there, my friend.
Yeah, I think I do get this MiG-29 though.
SAS, or yeah, SAS with the kill.
And if you pay attention to where he's trying to bomb, it's the other spot where he thought my CV was.
Right, which is over here in the town.
Yeah.
Which is nowhere near. That's so tricky. I mean, oh.
Gotta love the mind games.
Yeah. And I had somebody, I got wrecked one time by, I think it was a captain, and all he had to do was just not be aggressive in the opener. He stayed really far back, and then I just got confused. It's like, wait, there's supposed to be people here, and then all he did was spot me. And then I watched the replay, it was really kind of amazing. He spotted me, moved everything over to the other side, and crushed that entire flank. Game over.
That sounds like a very funny game to watch.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure I still have the replay, but
There's a lot of psychological and one more salvo for that town where the CB isn't.
Yeah, yeah. And that looks like it's gonna be game.
Yeah,
Did he surrender then?
No. No, yeah. Actually, no, he did surrender. Okay. He surrendered after he tried to rush a bunch of helicopters into my base.
Oh, that's why that was moved. Alright, alright.
Yeah. CB,
So we might have missed a couple things. Actually, it looks like it gave the full list. Let's take a look at the F-111C. Holy shit. VDV, Scratchits. Yeah.
Betnaz, most likely.
BMD2K. That's just one of them as well. You had a couple, I think.
I do. So I don't know if the other one got many kills.
I mean,
yeah,
you killed the command infantry.
Yeah, command infantry. Yeah.
That's what. That's just paying for himself, I think, right?
Yeah. I think another interesting kill is while we're here is to have a look at the Stormers as well.
Right. So Helos, MiG-29S. That's pretty crazy. And then let's see, Mi-24 VP. That's a 90-point kill right there. 35 off the MPV. A Pokemon.
G72A, okay. Like, Stormers are good, man. Stop sleeping on them.
Yeah. Alright. I tell you, what always gets me as well is Stormer versus ADATs. But it seems like the Stormer is sort of good enough without paying the extra tax for the ADATs.
So I take the ADATs in the mech deck and I try and use it as a tank hunter. More than
because
anything.
you don't have that reliable punch on your side with it. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, hey, I think that's going to be all we've got for you guys today. So thank you all for hanging around. And if you want to put your replays up here, if you want to be talking up here with me as well, always happy for it. Details for that I think are usually linked below or on the main page. So that's Discord, that's the email, all that normal good stuff. So, well, until next time.